Hello, and welcome back to our video series on getting started with Schoology. I am back here in the psychology section that we spent some time customizing in the last video, and I've also gone through and unpublished some of my content. So, the reason why you might want to unpublish your content is because if you have everything displayed for an entire semester, it can be a little overwhelming. So, to do that, you just go to the settings wheel on the right side and you click Unpublish. And within the folder as well, you can do this. You can see in my Unit 1 folder, there's a lot of assignments. So if I don't want them to see all of them at once, I can go ahead and unpublish the ones that I want hidden. And you don't have to do that. Sometimes, depending on the nature of your class, you might want everything available. And sometimes you might want to dial in that control just to make sure that students aren't working ahead or getting confused. So, because this is a shorter video series, I unfortunately don't have the time to show everything that Schoology can do. This is just a brief overview, but you can see there are a lot of different types of assignments that you can create. This is an assignment I created where students were to create their own social psychology experiment. So I actually created a demonstration version of it and made it a PDF for them to look at. So you can see this is the one where I went through and did it, and I said, I will be studying obedience. I defined what it is. I created a hypothesis and a question. I identified my independent and dependent variable, went through some data and a reflection. So students are able to look at my example and then able to download this document into their Chromebook or their iPad and type their responses in their document. So once students have completed their assignment and they submit it back to Schoology, I can start to see their submissions here. So if we go back to Unit 1, you can see we had that kind of assignment. I also just have notes here available for students if they miss class. So you can see I said, take notes on this PowerPoint, complete the reflection at the end of the slideshow. If you don't have your journal, you can submit your reflection here or submit it to me in class on paper. One of the big problems that I had in the school that I taught in most recently is that kids just didn't bring their devices charged. So a lot of times I had to have this extra bit of information in there about how to submit it without their devices. So you can see I attached some videos associated with what we were learning that week, and then I attached their notes as well, so that if they missed the notes, they could go in on their own time and they could see what they missed. So, creating assignments. What you're going to do is click Add Materials, Add Assignment. You're going to give your assignment a name. So, Assignment 1. Give it a description. So, open the attachment, answer questions, and submit back to Schoology. You can attach files, you can attach links, you can attach items from your resources, and then there's this external tool option. You can give it a due date, a category, and then one thing that I recommend is to turn on grade statistics. For some reason, it's always disabled, but I like to enable it so that I can see statistics for particular assignments, and then you would just hit Create. So that is how you create an assignment. And to create an assessment, you're going to go to Add Materials, Add Test/Quiz. Again, give it a name, a due date, a point value, a category. You're going to have to add a new category. So I always call mine assessments. You give it a numeric scale or a type of grading scale. Enable those statistics and click Create. And you can actually individually assign assignments, which is cool, especially if you have ESL learners. So I would always have one version of my test in Spanish, and I would just individually assign that to those students rather than making it available to everyone. So once you make an assessment, it looks, see if I can find an assessment. It looks something like this. You can see once you get into creating the assessment, it's going to ask you to add questions. You've got different types: true, false, multiple choice, ordering, short answer, essay, fill in the blank, matching, and so forth. There's a lot of settings associated with it. You can give directions. You want to make sure that your submissions are enabled or your students will not be able to take your test. You can give them multiple attempts. You can randomize the questions. Lots of options within there. And then you can also preview what your test looks like. So I hope you enjoyed this overview of creating assessments and assignments within Schoology, and I hope to see you for the next video.